Look up. Above you, the sky stretches endlessly, tinted with a faint rusty hue. It's a sky that has watched over this world for billions of years, silent and unchanging. For generations, Mars was a point of light in our sky, a ruddy wanderer, a world of mystery. It was a distant beacon, inspiring stories, dreams, and questions that echoed through the ages. From ancient astronomers to modern scientists, we gazed upward, wondering what secrets this red planet held. But when our probes landed, they revealed a stark, silent desert painted in red and ochre, under a thin, cold sky. The landscape was hauntingly beautiful, yet utterly alien, an endless expanse of rock and dust, shaped by winds and time. Mars was beautiful, but inhospitable, a fossil world, its vibrant past locked in ice and stone. Dry riverbeds hinted at ancient waters, and layered rocks whispered of a time when the planet may have been alive. Humanity's first steps here were cautious, shielded by habitats and suits, our lives tethered to machines. Every breath, every heartbeat depended on technology. The red dust clung to our boots, a constant reminder of how fragile we were in this alien world. The dream of a green Mars seemed impossibly distant. The idea of transforming this barren world into a place where life could thrive felt like a fantasy, a hope reserved for visionaries and poets. Yet, we are a species of dreamers. We have always looked beyond the horizon, imagining what could be, not just what is. Our curiosity and determination have carried us across oceans, through the skies, and now, across the gulf of space. We saw not just what was, but what could be. Water locked in the poles, the potential for blue skies and green plains. The promise of hidden resources and the possibility of life, waiting to be awakened, fueled our ambition. We imagined an atmosphere thick enough to breathe, and a world alive with possibility. We pictured clouds drifting across a sky tinged with blue, and the first seeds taking root in Martian soil. This vision, transforming a planet, became humanity's greatest project. It was a challenge that demanded our best science, our boldest engineering, and our deepest resolve. Every new habitat, every greenhouse, every step forward was a brushstroke on this vast red canvas. It was a promise to our future, a commitment that one day, children would look out their windows and see not a wasteland, but a world transformed by hope and effort. We would not be mere visitors forever. We would learn to breathe here, to grow, to build, and to belong. We would become the artists of a new world. Each experiment, each planted seed, each new settlement was a stroke of creation, shaping the future of Mars. The red wasteland was our canvas, the silence our invitation. In that silence, we found purpose, a calling to create, to transform, to make this place our own. Mars would not remain a world apart. With every sunrise, every new leaf, every light that flickered on in the darkness, we brought it closer to home. It would become a home, a testament to our imagination, our resilience, and our unyielding belief that even the most desolate places can be transformed by the human spirit. The first step was to give Mars an atmosphere. For billions of years, the red planet had been a silent, frozen world, its surface battered by cosmic radiation and solar winds. But now, humanity was ready to rewrite its destiny. We looked at the barren landscape and saw not just rock and dust, but the potential for a new beginning. We built atmospheric processors, giants that consumed Martian carbon dioxide and released super greenhouse gases. These machines, towering over the plains, were the engines of transformation. Their purpose? To thicken the air, to warm the ground, and to set in motion a chain reaction that would change the face of Mars forever. These machines worked tirelessly, warming the planet degree by degree. Day and night, they hummed and roared, their exhaust plumes shimmering in the thin Martian air. Each passing sol brought a subtle shift, a barely perceptible rise in temperature, but over months and years the change became undeniable. As temperatures rose, the polar ice caps sublimated, releasing more CO2 and accelerating the process. The white frost at the poles began to retreat, sending invisible clouds of gas into the sky. This feedback loop was the key. Each new molecule of greenhouse gas made the next step easier, the next sunrise warmer. The sky deepened in color, and air pressure climbed. What was once a faint, almost invisible haze became a visible shroud, wrapping the planet in a protective embrace. The Martian horizon, once sharp and stark, now softened as the atmosphere thickened. For the first time in eons, Mars began to develop a real atmosphere, a shield against space. The planet, long exposed to the harshness of the cosmos, now had a fragile but growing barrier. It was a moment of hope, a sign that the impossible was becoming possible. The air was still unbreathable, but it was progress. Our instruments detected new compounds, traces of water vapor, and the first hints of a changing world. Every reading was a small victory, a step closer to our dream. Weather patterns emerged, and the silence was broken by the whisper of wind. Dust devils danced across the plains, and thin clouds began to form, painting the sky with fleeting patterns. For the first time, Mars had weather, a living, breathing system. Mars took its first deep breath. The winds carried the promise of change, stirring the ancient dust and hinting at the world to come. The planet was no longer silent, it was awakening. The stage was set for life. With every sunrise, the possibilities grew. The dawn light revealed a world in transition, a canvas ready for the next chapter in its story. We had kindled the spark of change. The planet was awakening. The transformation was slow, but it was relentless, and with each passing day, Mars edged closer to becoming a world where life could take hold. Our work was just beginning. Teams of engineers and scientists monitored every shift, every fluctuation, adapting and improving the technology as Mars responded. The dream of a living planet was no longer science fiction. It was a project in motion. The next challenge, to make this new air a cradle for life. We prepared the soil, tested the water, and planted the first seeds, knowing that the journey ahead would be long and uncertain. Mars was ready for its transformation. The planet, once cold and lifeless, now stood on the threshold of a new era. The atmospheric awakening was only the beginning. With a thicker, warmer atmosphere, water returned to Mars. The polar caps melted, and the great thaw began. Trickles became torrents, filling the northern basin. An ocean was born. Waterfalls cascaded into valles marineris, and ancient riverbeds flowed again. Mars was reshaped by liquid water, its harsh features softened. Clouds formed and rain fell, muddy at first, then clear as the air was cleansed. The water cycle ignited, bringing weather and seasons. The planet was no longer static. It was dynamic, alive with promise. Lakes and rivers carved new landscapes. The red desert was giving way to blue and green. Mars was becoming a world of water. The promise of life grew stronger. Warm air and flowing water set the stage for life. We seeded Mars with engineered extremophiles, lichens, mosses, and cyanobacteria. These pioneers broke down rock, enriched the soil, and released oxygen. From orbit, red gave way to green and black, especially near the equator. The Great Greening had begun. As these organisms lived and died, they built the first topsoil. Next came hardy grasses and shrubs, each chosen for a role in the new ecosystem. Some fixed nitrogen, others absorbed toxins. True ecosystems emerged, green valleys, meadows, and rising oxygen. Mars was not just warmed and watered, it was coming alive. The transformation was visible from space. Life was taking root on a once dead world. This was no accident. Science guided every step. We used fusion-powered processors, orbital mirrors to melt ice, and fleets of autonomous robots to nurture the land. Genetic engineering created plants and bacteria tailored for Mars. Robotic pollinators ensured the spread of new flora. Thousands of sensors fed data into climate models, letting us adapt in real time. We learned, adjusted, and improved. Science was our compass, technology our engine. We turned a dead world into a living one, methodically and with care. Every breakthrough was hard-won. The scientific method was our foundation. Mars became humanity's greatest experiment and its greatest achievement. We proved we could be creators, not just explorers. The journey was never easy. Mars fought back with violent storms and technological failures. Hyper-hurricanes battered our outposts. Machines broke under stress. Early plants struggled in the harsh regolith. Political and psychological challenges threatened progress. Yet, every setback taught us something new. We reinforced, redesigned, and persevered. The struggle united us, Earth and Mars, one purpose. Each victory, no matter how small, built our resolve. We were forging not just a new world, but a new humanity. Mars tested us and made us stronger. For years, life on Mars meant living under glass. Our cities were domes. Our lives separated from the world we were changing. The dream was emergence day, the moment we could breathe Martian air, unprotected. Gradually, oxygen rose. Respirators became unnecessary. The first dome was retracted, and people stood under a blue Martian sky. Cities spread along valleys and seas, blending with the landscape. Children played in fields of reddish-green grass. People hiked Olympus Mons and sailed Martian seas. Every breath, every tree was a testament to human effort. Life was peaceful, prosperous, and deeply connected to the planet. We became Mars's gardeners and caretakers. The world we remade became our home. Mars's transformation was more than a technological feat. It changed humanity's story. We broke the bond of being a single planet species. Building a biosphere from scratch taught us to cherish Earth's own. The lessons of Mars helped us heal and protect our homeworld. A thriving Martian civilization became a symbol of hope and unity. If we could bring a dead world to life, we could solve any problem on Earth. Mars offered a new genesis, a society built on cooperation, science, and respect for the environment. We learned from past mistakes and built a better future. Mars was not just a new place to live, but a new chance to define ourselves. It was a second home and a second chance. Our destiny expanded beyond Earth. Look up from the shores of a Martian sea. Imagine the gentle breeze, the sound of waves lapping against red rocks, and the soft glow of a distant sun setting over a world once thought lifeless. Here, on this new horizon, humanity has found a second home. You'll see familiar stars, and a blue Earth shining in the sky, a tiny beacon of our origins. The constellations tell the same stories, but from a new vantage point, reminding us how far we've come and how much further we can go. Mars is our first island in the cosmic ocean, but not our last. Each launch from this red world is a promise to explore, to reach beyond, to keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible. The skills and spirit that transformed Mars will take us further. The teamwork, ingenuity, and hope that built cities here will guide us as we set sail for even more distant shores. The moons of Jupiter and Saturn, distant exoplanets, these are our future frontiers. Each world is a new chapter, waiting to be written by explorers, scientists, and dreamers. Mars taught us that worlds can be remade, and life can bloom anywhere. We learned to nurture fragile seedlings in alien soil, to create oases where none existed before. We are gardeners of the cosmos, not conquerors. Our mission is to heal, to cultivate, and to bring life to the barren corners of the universe. We will help barren worlds to flourish. With patience and care, we'll transform deserts into gardens and silence into the music of life. This legacy began on Mars's red plains. Here, the first seeds of hope were planted, and the dream of a living world took root. When you feel small, remember, we turned a silent desert into a green paradise. Our courage and vision changed the fate of a planet. We are no longer just children of Earth. We are pioneers, united by a shared destiny among the stars, forever reaching for new horizons. We are citizens of the solar system. Our homes now span worlds. Our communities thrive in places once only dreamed of. Our journey is just beginning. The cosmos awaits, vast and full of promise, and we are ready to write the next chapter, together among the stars.